It's Catherine and Brian from Moonstarlodge in the Georgian Bay area of Central Ontario, Canada, and we are here with the weekly reading for October 7th to 13th. And we welcome you if you're new, and we welcome you back if you've been with us for a while. I'm using the same decks that I used last week to talk about the bringing in of Walks Tall Woman, the grandmother of the 11th moon cycle, and she came in on the 2nd. So we're now moving through to the second quarter eventually during this week's reading. It's one of the rare times I've been suggested by Spirit to use the deck that I use as the ancestor deck as the principal tarot. So without further ado, let's go. Alrighty, so here we have the 7 Marigold Tarot by Amrit Brar, and then different clarifiers for the week. I invoke Spirit, angels, guardians, teachers of the highest and best intention to be present to me while I bring this information forward. This is a dandy. So we start with the 9 of Rings, or the 9 of Pentacles. That's a card that appeared in last week's video as well. We also had the 6 of Cups, and we had the Fool last week. Different decks, mind you, but this is how these waves of energy flow. As the grandmother of integrity, as she's called, Walks Tall Woman, strength, new paths, finding the strength for new paths, to take new journeys, new beginnings. It's not surprising that these cards are showing up. So with the 9 of Rings, the seeing that we have everything that we need, it's plenty, it's being nurtured by Spirit, we're in a good place, and it's remaining grateful for that, which is important. It's clarified here by the Page of Wands from the Cosmic Pink Lunar Tarot. The Page of Wands is, wands are fire. They're the spirit that infuses us to make new things happen. So we're on this new journey that was spoken of last week and again this week. So it's saying to look at what we have in a new way, and to look at our passions and the inspirations and the synchronicities and the 11:11 on the clock, all those things that tweak us, that there's a new way to look at how the journey that we're on. I mean, we could be very complacent in life when we get to the 9 of Pentacles. All the money we need, the house is good, family's good, we're going to go and take a nap, but we can't take a nap for the rest of our lives. We've got new things we have to do, new paths, as Walks Tall Woman would show us. So this is about taking the innocence and the youthful energy of the page type archetype and applying it to what this time of ease and grace allows us to begin to incubate. So that's a good start. Then we get the Queen of Wands. Well, we had the King of Wands last week. So the Queen of Wands is now, instead of turning our passion outward toward the world and creating things which benefit the world, now we're looking at things which help and benefit us. So this is very much an introspective first few cards here about looking at what we need to begin this new journey that Spirit is implying by the end of the week that we're still manifesting. It's clarified by what we would normally call the 2 of Swords, which is restraint. There's a very much older idea around the Two of Swords, which used to be a card about two knights who have been battling and who have been tossing things around and not getting along, but they cross their swords in a gesture of peace. We have to be careful that we don't get embroiled in what this stuff is and trying to control it and restrain where this Queen's energy is taking us. So there's the kind of negative aspect of this. Not listening to our emotions and not listening to others is an important part of the Two of Swords. We need to come to peace internally so that we can utilize this energy that the Queen of Wands is incubating, like a latent pregnancy almost. The Five of Cups can be a place of depression or grief or sorrow. We're not giving anything up to make this journey. And it's a very acute card that's clarifying this. This can be depression instead of loss or grief. The depression is the loss of interest in life or grief around it. But to close the lid, this card means that we need to shut the world out and take care of ourselves and move through what it is that we need. Again, this is why we have the Queen. What we need to come out of that place. So we're coming out of this place of restraint and more into a place of peace. So we have to close the box lid on the world and just focus on self so that we don't get in a place of a sense of loss of self or grief or sorrow or depression. So very important clarifier from Spirit. I don't think I've ever pulled that card in all the years I've had this deck. The Two of Cups now talks about love and balance. It's another two. The Two of Cups is often construed to be like the Lover's card in the major arcana, where you are embracing a significant other or embracing the yin and yang of self, the light and the shadow. This is very much about embracing that and having harmony. So this is a harmony card, so being in harmony. The Black Moon Lilith is the Mercury card, communication and truth. The communication and truth needs to be with our significant others, but it also needs to be with ourselves. Mercury is about communication, and it's about working swiftly, so we can't let weird ideas pull us away. We can't go down that negative rabbit hole. We have to close out the world. There's a lot of this about turning inward and not being influenced by the external world to get to this place of personal balance. When we do all of this coming week, the world, the final card in the major arcana, is ours for the taking. It is there. And the attribute that we need to, or the archetype we need to utilize, is the priestess, the one who draws down the spirit and alchemizes in a good way. The mastery of all of this stuff gives us the world. What a beautiful, beautiful pairing here. The Six of Cups is a little bit of nostalgia that appeared last week, and that's apparently okay this week because the clarifier from the witching hour is the blue moon, or honoring the past. So this is a good use of our thought structures and imagination. This card follows this card in the Suit of Cups. So we come out of a place of sadness and feeling loss and depression into joyful recollection, and it's important. Joyful recollection is acting. This is the priestess here. She is this card. And so we are honoring the past, not getting sucked into a place of sorrow. The Fool is back, reminding us we are on a new journey, and according to last week's reading, it's going to take us right through until the time of Leo in 2025. And what we need to do in order to understand the journey that we're on, this new karmic beginning, because the Fool is a major arcana card, remember. It's a new life journey, something that we had chosen to begin before we ever incarnated in our present life. Meditation, thinking with the moon. Last week the moon card was suggested as a kind of a anxiety thing. Now we are being like the priestess here and embracing the moon, looking at hopes and dreams and meditating with our familiar here, the little cat on the moon. We're thinking about how we make all of this flow in a beautiful way. You can flip the camera, Brian. So what a wonderful conclusion to last week's reading. It certainly clarifies the things that we may be encountering that might stop us from moving forward. And every incarnation we have, every lifetime, is about progressing us vibrationally that much higher, which, like the eagle or the hawk, the higher we vibrate, the bigger picture we see. So I thank you for being with us, and have a blessed week. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe. I still have to do the videos I mentioned last week on some new decks, which are really special decks by Anya Rogov, and there are some others that I will look at. So feel free to send us some coffee. Gotta have coffee. Leonard was sitting here watching my coffee, you know, so the cats don't get at it, knock it down. We appreciate all the support. Every dollar helps to keep us going with this endeavor. I am open for private readings if you wish, now that we're out of this cycle with healing and construction and whatever. So if you want to have a private reading, by all means, give me a shout. Miigwech, Nyawen, Aho, peace.